From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula Boys Soccer. The Hampton Crabbers visiting the Bethel Bruins. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz, and we welcome you to Darling Stadium for this soccer match, the season finale between the 1-7 Hampton Crabbers and the 1-7 Bethel Bruins. And we are just about set to get this one underway, Bob.
Tim, it's a beautiful day. It's in the mid to lower 70s. The sun is starting to set. There's just a nice breeze out there. This will be a nice contest. These teams are both evenly matched, as the record indicates. Hampton putting the ball in play first.
They, of course, will be in the red uniforms with the white numerals, Bethel, green shorts, gold jerseys, and gold numerals.
And then number 13 for the Bruins did a good job of stealing the ball right off the hand. We do have some corporate sponsors today, Tim.
And they are Zooms with multiple Peninsula locations.
Gear Up Printing, where they can handle all your printing needs. Give them a call, 827-8277.
And at Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the funeral director. 40-minute halves in boys soccer. The clock runs continually. Any injury timeout will be added to it, and the official time is kept by the referee. And unfortunately, we will only guesstimate the time remaining. And that official referee this afternoon is Joe Baeva, and the linesmen are Dwight Powell and Charlie Brewster. We're taking care of all of the particulars. Do we have the starting lineups on the screen for the folks?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen them yet, but if Andy can pop them up there, we'll let the fans at home see the starters for both the Bruins and the Crabbers.
On the attack were the Bruins. Now the Crabbers will set up. And a great lead pass. Got a 2-on-1 corner kick, or kick to the corner of the net at least. And it is off the mark, but a fine effort on offense by the Hampton Crabbers.
Well, you know, I think he thought that the goalkeeper thought that he was going to pass it. That was number 16 who attempted that on goal. That's David Van Buskirk.
But Samuel Lee, number 11, was instrumental in setting that play up as well. But it went wide of the goal, and now a goalie kick at midfield. Back on the attack.
Who I think we got out there starting. We got Michael Lucas as the goalkeeper for the Crabbers. Mark Losey, number 2. Dennis Leonard, number 3. Jamal Whitehead, number 4. Kevin Waterton, number 5. Aaron Venerable, number 7. Byron Peterson, number 8. Keith Johnson, number 9. Reginald Watson, number 10. David Clemente, number 12, David Van Buskirk, number 16, and Joseph Lamendola, and number 18.
Joseph Lamendola. Now, what threw me off was the goalkeeper for Hampton is wearing a gold jersey.
And yeah, the one down for the Crabbers wearing a blue jersey. So. You can go through the.
Bethel's got the.
Yes, I'm sorry, the Bethel. You've got the starters there for the.
I did.
Bruins.
I do, and I will. Chad Franklin is a starter.
Nice tackle. We got a hurt player.
We got an injured player on the play. And a shot on goal, just over the goal. And I can't determine yet who the injured player is, but he is being, as you can see on your screen, being attended to.
Well, Tim, he was up in the air and kind of got his feet knocked out from under him on a strong tackle, and he came down with just boom. I mean, didn't even get his hands out in front of him. Try to get his number. And he's finally up, but I think he just kind of got the wind knocked out of him, maybe a little bit in the back, but he came down. His head may have come down first. And it looks like number 19, is that it?
I believe that's who that is, and that would be one of the captains. That's Matt Andrews, who plays the position of sweeper. He's a junior. And no blood, no foul, I guess, because he is
up and away.
He's up and has not been substituted for, but he is at anything but 100%. In fact, I suspect we'll see him substituted for here the very first opportunity, as he is limping noticeably over to the sideline. Now, this will give me an opportunity to tell you that the starters for Bethel are Chad Franklin. The goalkeeper will be Joe Jansen. Scotty Alexander will be one of the midfielders. Mike Diber, number 7. Sopath Sok is number 9. He is a midfielder. Edmund Endip, number 13. Brad Gregory, 15. Carl Cantrell, 16. Miles Johnson, number 17. Stephen Simon, number 18. And the aforementioned injured captain, Matt Andrews, is the final starter for the Bruins.
Well, Tim, we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams this evening, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter's Engraving, and they're located on Kickotan Road. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 723-6067. Dave Buckwalter is the owner. The shirt comes from the Island of Hardware and Sporting Goods, and they're located in Poquoson. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms, plus they have screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
Corner kick was fielded nicely by the Hampton goalkeeper, and back on offense are the Crabbers. But just like that, the Bruins on defense, good job of stopping the Hampton attack, or at least momentarily doing so. Fine skills being exhibited by both sides of in this contest so far. We have no score. We're just barely underway, about 7 minutes into the contest. Want to remind everybody that we'll have the girls contest between these two schools for your viewing pleasure. Won't tell you who won that game. It was played earlier.
You'll have to watch it to see.
Interestingly, I was reading some rules, Bob. I was telling you in the girls' game, I've got some stuff here. The goalkeeper just has to wear a significantly different jersey or uniform than the team he plays for. Well, I found it very interesting that the goalkeeper for Hampton is wearing a gold jersey, which is the same color as the Bruins, but he's got gold and blue. And that goalkeeper does a nice job that time of coming out for Hampton. That's Michael Lucas, a senior. And with the free kick, he is going to place it at midfield, where it's taken there by the Bruins. And this will result in a throw-in for the Bruins on the near side. That is Matt Crummich, number 3.
Well, that was a smart move that time by the
Bruin. Yeah, but you know what he did? So by not allowing him to go over the goal line, it's not a free kick for the goaltender.
That's right. David Allen Zooms is recognized as the senior on each one of the soccer teams today with the highest GPA. These players will receive a plaque during outstanding academic excellence during the first school board meeting in June. On the Bethel team, the boys soccer is Scotty Alexander, which is one of 3 people with a 4.37. Tim, they have valedictorians. I don't think that's ever happened before. And for the boys soccer is Byron Peterson with a 4.13. Uh-oh, was this a free kick?
It is.
Now they have to give him 10 yards, I think is what it is.
This, in fact, is a direct kick.
Direct kick, right.
And I won't even start to get into the rules because most of our viewers will know them better than you or I. But there are 2 kinds of free kicks. One is a direct kick. Ooh, that was just off the hands of the goalkeeper and over the goal. Just real quickly, I will tell you, there's 2 types of direct kicks. A goal can be scored directly without any player touching the ball. And then there's an indirect kick. A player from either team besides the kicker has to touch the ball before it enters the goal. During all free kicks, the opposing team must be at least 10 yards from the ball on a full-size field, and this can be redefined for smaller fields.
You got that down.
Got that down. I got that part right.
You got something right there?
Well, and I was talking in the girls' game. I want to make all the fans aware of the fact, too, that there is no such thing, per se, as a regulation-sized field. The field must be at least 100 yards long, but can be 130 yards in length or anywhere in between those amounts. And in the width of the field, it can be as little as 50 yards wide, but no more than 100 yards wide.
Well, now you and I could probably play better on that side of the field.
Yes, that's what I said would work much better. But it must always be a rectangular shape, regardless of the dimensions. I've used up all
Well,
the
you know,
good
I've been watching, and you know, the position that I could probably play the best would be goalkeeper.
Yeah, it requires the least amount of running. But well, see, but you're in much better shape than most people your age. So I mean, you could probably do real well playing I bet stamina-wise, you could play for about a half.
About maybe half of a half.
I had a hard time getting up to the booth. Lead pass, and that will be. Well, I'm not sure what that will be.
That
Maybe
was
Andy
offside.
Fuller. Was it offside?
Yep. There was nobody between him and the ball. It has to be one defensive player between him and the ball when the ball crosses the line.
I'm so glad you asked me that. While we have this stoppage of play, I will define offsides for you. There must be at least 2 defensive players between the offensive player and the opponent's goal when the ball is passed to him. Now, the key to this is that it's when the ball is passed to him, not necessarily when he receives it. A player can only be offside in the opponent's end of the field. A player cannot be offside if he received the ball in an onside position and then does not pass. A player can be in an offside position, but the referee does not have to call offside if he feels the player was not directly involved in the play.
Well, number 16 for the Crabbers almost got a header in there. That was David Van Buskirk, senior on this team. Almost headed the ball in. Good job by the Bethel Bruin goalie.
We have no score, and we have played a little more than 12 minutes in this first half. The Crabbers on offense, but then that was a play called a back play.
Right, you want to get that ball back to.
It's where the offensive player actually kicks it. Excuse me, the defensive player actually kicks it towards his own goal, so that his goalkeeper can play.
You better make sure the goalkeeper's there to get it, though. I'm sure there's been some goals scored for the other team inadvertently.
I did a lot of hockey watching in my life, and I did see one time when there was a delayed penalty. And in hockey, you can pull your goaltender with a delayed penalty, and the other team can't score against you because as soon as they gain possession of it, the whistle blows. And in this particular game, the player knocked it into his own goal after the goaltender had vacated. And talk about embarrassing. Centering pass, and it's fielded nicely by the Bruins goalkeeper. And that goalkeeper we mentioned earlier is Joe Jansen. Quickly down the other end of the field, centering pass by Bethel. That's an instance there where the ball was on the sideline but did not go completely out of bounds and therefore is allowed to continue to be played. There's a shot on goal blocked nicely at the defense. Another effort is blocked once again, the effort being made by Jamal Whitehead, as he had 2 efforts there, and the defense came up big for the Bruins.
Well, now the Bruins, the Crabbers will get a corner kick.
because it was, in fact, the last knocked out of bounds by a Bethel Bruin. Centering pass, and this is always dangerous. And this was finally controlled by the Bruins. And that was number 8, Mike Tran, with the ball. Out of bounds, and a throw in by Hampton. And that pass well off the mark and out of bounds. That will result in a throw in for the Bruins. Have some quick substitutions for Bethel. You had mentioned in the girls' game, but again, those fans who may not know this, you cannot substitute when the other team is in control of the play. In other words, if Hampton is throwing the ball in, Bethel can't substitute.
Whoa,
nice
job.
Great shot on goal and an excellent effort to block the shot.
Again, that was by number 4, Jamal Whitehead. He shows a strong foot, but I tell you, that goalie is just doing a great job down there for the Bruins. I think we got a hand on number 7. I was going to grab him. Oh, I can't do that, but I'll throw an elbow at it. I know you got a green card.
A yellow card.
Yeah.
No, green card is when you're an immigrant. The yellow card is a warning.
You're an immigrant. Oh, look like green to me.
No, that's a yellow card.
Yeah, that's a yellow card. You just don't want to see that dreaded red card, right?
That's right. That's the one you don't want to see. And gee, I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you about that.
You guys, you have to be behind the fence.
The red card is the ejection of a player, coach, or parent from the field.
Or parent.
For play of gross misconduct. The guilty party must leave not only the field, but also must leave the complex. And a yellow card, on the other hand, is a warning. Warning by the referee to a player, coach, or parent for misconduct. So that was a yellow card. I think if you get 2 yellows, it becomes a red card.
No, wait, you gotta put it in.
Little effort by the Hampton player there to pretend like it had been knocked out by the Bruins, but it
You
didn't
get
work.
by with it.
Right, so on the free throw in will be Mike Sanborn, number 10, and this is a centering pass that is fielded nicely by the Hampton goalie, preventing a play. His kick to the midfield. And out of play, last played by Hampton. Almost halfway through the first half, no score here in the contest between Bethel and Hampton. Game recorded on the 12th of May, 1999. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and the Channel 46 crew. Good job on defense by Hampton. That was number 10, Reginald Watson, who prevented a play. And again, Sanborn will have the throw-in. Waiting for his team to set up. Headed by Hampton. And looks like they'll start upfield. Nice pass on the right wing. That's Keith Johnston. Johnston, number 9. And it's kicked out of bounds. It was last touched by Bethel's number 15, Brad Gregory. So it'll be a throw in for Hampton. Quickly,
Remember Gregory from the Bruin football team.
Soccer-Bethel doing a good job of controlling the ball, but still unable to score in this first half.
Looks like we're about halfway through the first half.
Back come the Crabbers on offense. Only to be stopped. Nice pass left wing. Got a 3-on-2. Centering pass. A good end-to-end action by both
Really
squads.
is. Both teams are able to get a little bit of offensive emphasis there and move the ball down the field. But I tell you, these two goalies are just doing an excellent job, as are the sweepers and the stoppers.
I want to mention that Zooms is one of our sponsors this afternoon, this evening, as you may be watching the game. I want to tell you about all the fine products they have at Zooms. You've got your Citgo gasoline at your Zooms. Also, Beantown Coffee. They've got fried chicken, potato wedges, ham and cheese subs.
I like to have some with my coffee, Tim.
I like some Krispy Kreme donuts with my
Oh,
coffee.
they got that?
They got that. Coca-Cola and many more. They've got your ice for those weekend outings. Need them for the boat trip when you're going to go fishing. Zooms is the place to go.
Yeah, and if you want to send out invitations, you call Gear Up Printing, and they'll print up invitations for you when you have that outing.
Ah.
You want to invite a lot of people.
What a concept.
Tom Gear and Gear Up Printing will take care of all that printing needs.
But, you know, unfortunately, we don't know their phone number.
Oh, I think I do. It's 827.
827?
827. 7.
7. I think you got too many numbers that time. That's 827-8277. Gear Up Printing. Again. Great header. What a beautiful centering pass by number 4, Jamal Whitehead.
Sure, he got an assist on
He got
that.
the assist, and who got the goal?
I get you just as soon as it turns
that number
around, we got
6?
the front of him. Young man is the closest to us, Tim. Turn the other way. Turn the other way. Turn the other way. Number 9.
Number 9 is your goal scorer, and that is Keith Johnston. But a beautiful centering pass from Jamal Whitehead. That set up that play.
Well, and you know, you look for that in a lot of sports, especially in basketball and soccer. Somebody's got to sometimes get the ball to you in the right position, and it's called an assist. And when I coached basketball, to me, that was as important as scoring a goal.
Without that great pass, the goal would not have happened. So Hampton takes the lead here in the first half. And that was just totally beyond anything the goaltender could have done with that. That was just a great pass and a great shot. There was nothing the goaltender could do. This will be a throw-in for the Bruins, and again, Mike Sanborn will do it. And a shot on goal handled by Hampton. Quickly down the field. They don't waste any time moving it along. You don't have to wait for the referee to blow his whistle or hand you the ball or anything. You just go. Continuous clock movement here, 40-minute halves. We have played almost 25 minutes of the first half.
I'm watching these young men running, Tim, and they have been running and running around this track.
Sanborn again throws in, header by Hampton. Bruins return the favor. Sanborn near sideline and out off of him. So Hampton now will throw in. Season finale for these two teams. Of course, the rich tradition of combativeness between Hampton and Bethel. No matter whether it's a softball game, a soccer game, baseball game, or football.
Like Jimmy.
Offsides against Hampton.
I'm glad you asked. Oh, no, you already done that one, right?
No, I got some other stuff here, though. I got some origin of the game. I mentioned this earlier. First noted reference of soccer in America in 1620. The Indians, they played a game called Pasakuakohowag.
It's easy for you to say.
Yes, it is. Meaning they gathered to play ball with the foot. They used to play in the beaches a half-mile wide with goals 1 mile apart.
Wow.
Served as playing fields for as many as 1,000 people at a time. Is that some interesting stuff there for you? 1600s. A mile long. Nice shot on goal and just saved as it was approaching the goal line. Boy, what a great save that was. I just want to finish this thought about this game that I was talking about. In the early 1600s, games were often rough, resulting in broken bones, but no one was identified because players disguised themselves with ornaments and war paint, making retaliatory causes almost impossible. It was common for games to be carried over from one day to the next with a feast for all of the people involved at the conclusion of the match.
1,000 people playing.
Bet you didn't know that.
No.
And a mile-long field.
I was going to say, where's that other goal?
Started at Buckrow and played at Grandview. How's that, Grandview?
My goodness.
The goals would be a mile apart and the playing fields as much as a half-mile wide. I'd like to be the referee. Shot is over the top of the net. Soccer, truly the international sport. The Eskimos played it on soccer on ice. Balls were stuffed with grass, caribou hair, and moss. And one legend tells of two villages playing against each other with goals 10 miles apart. There is no way to know the date of origin of this, but it was in Alaska and Canada. 10 miles apart. That's amazing.
7 miles and I couldn't move my.
Back to the game at hand. Bethel with a throw in. They trail 1-0 on a goal by Keith Johnston. And the assist coming to Jamal Whitehead. Good tackle by Hampton to regain control. And then a good defensive play by the Bruins at the other end as the Bruins number 20, Clinton Wallace, made a nice play. Just a sophomore playing in his second varsity game. Coming up off the JVs. Stolen by the aforementioned Keith Johnston.
They adept with their using their feet to control that ball.
Whitehead in particular, he is just a magician. He's been outstanding so far. He has really exhibited the skills that you equate with good soccer players. Long kick, but that's with an assist of the wind, we might add. The wind is blowing from right to left. Pretty steady breeze, maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour. Centering pass, and the Bruins play it out of bounds to get a chance for the defense to get back.
We'll talk a little bit about the graduating seniors for the Bethel Bruins. They were introduced at the beginning of the game, and starting off with Chad Franklin. He's been with the team 1 year. He's going to go to North Carolina A&T in the fall. Carl Cantrell's been there 1 year. Stephen Simon's been 2 years, going to into the Marine at the end of this year. Miles Johnson's got a 3.04, been with his team for 2 years, is going to Christopher Newport University. Scotty Alexander, I told you he's one of the three valedictorians with a 4.37. He's going to go to UVA in the fall. Brad Gregory, been with the team 3 years, is going to Ferrum. Posock has been with the team 3 years. He's not sure where he's going to go. And Mike Diber, he's got a 3.88, been with the team 5 years. He's going to Old Dominion in the fall.
Old Dominion with a rich history of soccer, as UVA does. Good centering pass. Header is blocked by the Bruins. Again, Johnston getting the opportunity, but blocked at the defense.
Well, the sun is going up. We got a little cloud cover coming in from the west.
And I guarantee you the players are glad of it. It's not overly warm, and the humidity isn't too high, but you run up and down that field, you appreciate the fact the sun isn't shining on you.
Well, and you know, they probably appreciate that little breeze coming, too.
Yes. I know I do. See that great dribble by Whitehead that time?
He really can handle that ball. There's a lot of people don't know, but you remember a great basketball player by the name of Earl the Pearl Monroe? He was a All-American soccer player when he was in high school.
I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. He was so good with the basketball, but his foot movement in basketball was what would throw a lot of the players off, and he attributed a lot of his skill ability to playing soccer. But I can remember when he'd get the basketball, and you you didn't know where it was going to go.
I can tell you where he went to college.
I think I can tell you too. Winston-Salem?
Yeah, Winston-Salem State.
Big House Gaines was his coach.
Yeah. And of course, great success with the New York Knicks.
Well, and you see a lot of these young soccer players end up being the kicker and a punter on the football team. One comes in mind real quick is Brian Smith of Coach Smith's son is not only a good punter, he's a good field goal kicker, and he plays on the Kecoughtan soccer team. So a lot of these young men end up using those skills in other sports.
This is Johnson.
Nice.
Great lead pass. Good opportunity for the Crabbers. And a shot on goal. A save. The ball, I think, had already passed the goal line.
It doesn't have to come down. If it just crosses the line, even in the air, and the wind blows it back, it doesn't make any difference. It's out of bounds.
So Dennis Leonard will perform the corner kick. And this one lofted over the net. Less than 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Played roughly 34 minutes. Some substitutions for the Bruins.
This is one of the very few times that we've done spring sports that we have not been rained out. Now, we had a delay because of wet field, but for the softball game we did last Monday, but been very fortunate in the weather not affecting our broadcasts.
Long kick on goal.
You better time that leap right.
That's right, exactly right. Another very talented dribbler, Reginald Watson. Reggie doing a good job, now taken by the Bruins. Onside.
There's a nice tackle down there. Something happened.
And the ball over the goal line will result in a free kick. There's a variety of free kicks. The goalkeeper himself can kick the ball in that instance, or he can allow another one of his players to kick it. In this case, that's what the election was.
Nice job that time by the crabber, was really being double teamed and got the ball out of position. I can't get his number. If he turns around, I'll get it. Looks like number 8. Yes, number 8.
Johnson and Whitehead working in tandem. And another opportunity and a good play by the goalkeeper. That would be what, Byron Peterson, is that who you're speaking of?
Young man going to UVA in the fall.
Long lead pass and the kick over the goal. That will result in a free kick for the Crabbers.
I tell you, this ball boy on this side is really getting to work out.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah, he's hoping this will be the end of the half pretty soon.
Less than 5 minutes in the half. Just one goal. That by the Crabbers. Keith Johnston on a header. Bruins on the attack.
Just a little high by number 4. And number 4 is Joe Teifler, just a freshman playing in his 5th varsity game. Oh, nice job.
Some fine skills being demonstrated out here by both teams. Look at this job of dribbling by the Hampton player, Reggie Watson. And that will be a throw-in now for Hampton. Johnston will trigger. This linesman on this near side has been getting some activity. He's been doing some running. He needs to keep up with the play to call the offsides infractions. Corner kick now coming for Hampton. Whitehead's kick is headed but over the net.
He put it right where he wanted to.
Would guess, according to my watch, that we're in the final 2 minutes of this first half. Well, I've got it. Yeah, I started it with 5 to 6, so that way I can keep track of how much time is remaining. The clock not operative.
If we're going to get the lights on, they might want to think about that before the second half starts.
I think we're in good shape, Bob. And a shot on goal and
nice
a score.
Job. Was it number 18?
I believe so.
Stephen Simon, senior, second year on the team, going into the, told you he's going into the Marines in the fall.
So Hampton on Simon's goal late in the first half takes a 2-0 lead. Yep. Offsides, the call. That was called. There's a term that was used in here called boot ball.
Boot ball?
Yes, that's when a player seemingly just kicks the ball for distance with no particular plan in mind, although that could have been a pass.
One of the plans, I'm sure, is to get it out of your end of the
That's right, just
field.
boot it out of there.
Boot, that's why it's called boot ball.
Yeah.
Boot that ball out of there.
Hampton again on the attack. And a shot just over the goal. Narrowly missing the top of the net. That was Byron Peterson, who just missed, making it 3-0.
Hampton can get down at the end and get in scoring position quicker than anybody else. Of these two teams, they are very quick getting down offensively.
If you joined us late, you're watching Hampton and Bethel in their season finale. For both teams, we are told unofficially, with identical 1-7 records. Bethel now trying to get on the board before halftime as they trail 2-0 on goals by Johnston and Simon. Bruins still in possession. And a shot on goal. And that is halftime. So we've reached the end of the first half, and our score at halftime is Hampton 2 and Bethel 0. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the second half of action after a brief timeout.
You know what this means? 3/4 done.
As you watch a goal scored late in the first half, that was a goal scored by Stephen Simon. And that goal made the score at halftime as you see it, 2-0 in favor of the Hampton Crabbers. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz back at Darling Stadium as the second half of our contest is just about set to get underway. The goals in the first half, the first goal was by Keith Johnston on a header from a centering pass, and an assist most definitely going to Jamal Whitehead. I don't know of the other assists that might have been handed out, but Whitehead was highly instrumental in that goal that was scored to open the scoring for this contest. 2-0 is the score. That's that nil is as the way of Andy Foley, our soccer expert, guru all around, know all about soccer. Says that the nil stands for 0, so we want to make sure Andy gets credit for that. Not to say that Andy is a 0 by any means.
No, he's a nil.
He's a nil. All right, we are underway. 40 minutes remaining in the season for this sport and the seniors. And we will be talking about in the second half. We'll be highlighting some of the seniors and some of the players in particular that
we got a
we have some
2-on-1.
information.
You notice what the goalkeeper did, Tim? Came out, cut down the angle that time. And that's, Bob Baster told me that last week. He says that's what you've got to do as a goalkeeper.
Much like hockey, where the goaltender does exactly that. The further out he comes, the more angle he takes away and prevents that straight-on goal.
Talk about some of the ball players, soccer players, for the Bruins. We talked about Chad Franklin. He's a senior. This is his first year on the team, and he's a motivator. Joe Jansen is a junior, and he's a goalkeeper. Has had 90 saves. This is his third year as starting as goalkeeper, and has also had 2 assists. Matt Kermich is a sophomore. His first year he played with Phoebus. Co-captain Scotty Alexander, Scotty Alexander, a senior. He had 6 goals, 1 assist. The young man I talked about, Tri-valedictorian, he's an Eccles scholar and is going to UVA. Mike Dibler.
No L in there.
Diver, I'm sorry, right. He's played for 5 years as a senior. Mike Tram is a junior. This is his first year on the team. Sosak is a senior. He played, this is his first year at Bethel, and he's had 2 years at Hampton before coming over here. Mike Sanborn is a junior. They call him El Toro. He's got 4 goals, 1 assist. Also has 30 saves as playing goalkeeper. Jerry Brooks, a sophomore, transferred from a school in England. A very solid defensive player. Nick Bell is a junior, his first year on the varsity. Edmund Endip is a sophomore, second year on the varsity. He's had 4 goals and 1 assist. Brad Gregory, we talked about him. He's been on the football team. He's a senior. This is the 3rd year on this team. He plays everywhere but goalkeeper. Carl Cantrell is a senior, his first year on the team. Miles Johnson is a senior, 2nd year on the team, is a good hustler. Stephen Simon, senior, 2nd year on the team, going to the Marines. Matt Andrews, a sweeper. Captain is a sophomore and a junior. He's got excellent size and great skills. John Capalis is a junior, 1st year on the team. Joe Teifler is a freshman and playing in his 5th varsity game. Came up from the JVs, as did Chris Teifler. He's a sophomore. Clinton Wallace is a sophomore. Andre Green and Alex Martin, all of them are coming up from the JVs. And we look like the clouds may stay over the sun a little bit. It cools it off a little bit. The temperature's in the 70s.
Oh, it's perfect conditions to play. Maybe a little bit warm, but certainly not uncomfortable.
Talk a little bit about some of the Hampton players. Byron Peterson talked about his GPA, 4.13. He's National Honor Society, French Club, French Honor Society, Student Advisory Council, Superintendent's Student Advisory Group, Chrome, Project Discovery, swimming. He's got too many awards to list, he told me. He's going to UVA in the fall. Reginald Watson, when the seniors, got a 3.49 GPA.
3.49?
3.49, yes.
That's nice.
Who else we have here? We got Keith Johnson, is a junior, 3.7 GPA.
One of our goal scorers.
And he's ranked 19th in his class. He plays forward and goalkeeper. It's been 2 years, 2nd year on the varsity for him. I got double papers for some of these guys. Aaron Whitehead is just a 9th grader, 3.8 GPA, ranked 21st in his class. Plays midfield and forward. The only JV player moved up from the JV and team, and he led it in assists and 2nd in scoring. This is his 1st year on the varsity. Mark Losi.
I was going to ask you, I wonder if Jamal Whitehead is related to Aaron. I don't know that for certain, but Jamal has just been outstanding.
We got a breakaway here. A good job of the goalkeeper.
And offsides was called, so the...
Anyway, Mark is a sweeper. He got a 3.4 GPA. Played soccer since he was 7. Played for Hampton for 3 years. He's on a select soccer team when he was 11. Played for the Hampton Hawks. Denny Leonard is a senior. Plays soccer and swimming, of course. He got the most spirited in swimming. Is the captain of the soccer team. He's had 1 goal and 3 assists. Jamal Whitehead, 3.8 GPA. Forward and midfield, he's one of the captains on the team. Been on the varsity soccer team since the 9th grade. All district in 98, 2nd team.
And we've got a goal.
Press. All right, who we have?
The goal was scored by...
the man with his hands in the air.
And I'm trying to get him to turn around. I think
number 10.
No.
Oh, was it number 10? I'm sorry.
No, it's the young man that's trotting back to the midfield. I can't turn around. Let me see your number.
So that makes it a 2-1. Well, we'll get his number in a second.
There it is, number 1.
There we go.
That was Chad Franklin.
Good job, Chad.
It was a pretty play.
Yes, it was. Kevin Waterton is an 11th grader for the Bruins. He got a for the Crabbers, he got a 3.5 GPA. Plays left fullback. Played for Phillips for 3 years. Miles Lucas, senior with a 3.8 GPA. Plays goalkeeper and forward. Aaron Venable is a 3.5 GPA. Is 11th grader on the National Honor Society, SCA. Has Latin 2 Merit Awards. 3rd year on the varsity. He had 3 years on junior varsity and 1 year on the varsity. Paid for 4 years.
By the way, Bob, the lights have been turned on.
I knew we would. David Clemente, 11th grader, 3.9, 14th in his class. Plays forward. He's had 1 goal this season. 1st year on the varsity. He's been playing soccer since he was 6 years old. His first goal in high school was in the Bruton tournament this year. Member of the Key Club, the Spanish club, captain of the academic team, applicant for the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and a member of the swim team. Talbert Dunn is a 12th grader with 3.11 GPA, plays forward. Joseph Wilson is 11th grader, 3.25 GPA. They call him Stealth. Scored 1 goal against Phoebus in the Bruton tournament.
What a beautiful pass from Whitehead is just unbelievable. Jamal Whitehead just had a fake and a pass, and this is Whitehead again with the ball, dribbling between defenders. This young man has got some amazing skills.
He really does. Troy Yarnell is a 12th grader. Plays midfield. Scored 1 goal and 3 shots. He has been on a JV team, and in his 10th grade year, he played in varsity in 11th grade, and this year he's on last year at Hampton High. Samuel Lee, 3.5 GPA, Key Club, Computer Club, TSA, National Honor Society. I think I've got just about everybody.
You got one more there?
Yeah.
Joseph Lemondola.
Yeah, Joseph is 3rd year for the Crabbers, is 2 years on the JV. And he's been playing since he's been 8 years old. Look at some of the Crabbers.
Header by Whitehead over the net. And a free kick coming up for the Bruins. We are about 10 minutes into the second half, and Bethel scores by Chad Franklin has made it a 1-goal game.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game for both of these teams this evening, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter Engraving, located on Kickotan Road, and the shirt comes from the Island Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Pocosin. And we'll thank Dave Buckwalter and John Roberts for their help in helping us to recognize a player of the game from all the spring sports, the winter sports, and the fall sports that we have a chance to televise. Of course, if you need any printing for any kind of occasion, give Tom Gear at Gear Up Printing a call at 827-8277.
Bruins on the attack. And the defense for Hampton slows that down. Now the Crabbers back.
Whoa. Lost that ball.
Faked himself and everybody else out.
Well, he did fake the defensive player out, that's for sure. Again, I want to recognize that David Allen Zooms is helping us recognize a senior on each one of these soccer teams and the other spring sports we've done this year with the highest GPA that will receive a outstanding academic excellence award during the first school board meeting in June. For the Bethel Bruins, softball is Nicole McDonald, baseball Travis Cobb, girls soccer Elizabeth Orbison, and boys soccer Scotty Alexander. For the Crabbers, softball Cheryl Tate, baseball Gabe Hildegast, girls soccer Nora Garcia, and boys soccer Byron Peterson. Congratulations to those young scholars.
Hampton will have the throw in. Bethel back on the attack, trailing by the score of 2-1. Bethel led at Hampton led at halftime 2-0 on goals by Keith Johnston and Stephen Simon. Bruins have come back with a goal by Chad Franklin to make it a 2-1 game in favor of Hampton.
Tom Gear is on the board of directors of the Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Peninsula, and they have over 200 little brothers looking for big brothers. This is a great program. If you have any interest, give the office of the Big Brothers Big Sisters a call. We have a goal.
Yes, we do.
At 827-0110. They need volunteers to spend 4 to 5 hours a week with the little brothers. Kids start as young as 6 years old.
David Van Buskirk.
So that makes it 3-1.
See if we have that on replay.
Here it is.
Take the goaltender out and then just placed it. So Hampton regains the 2-goal difference. Shot directly on goal, and the save made by Hampton's Michael Lucas. Quickly back the other way. This is Jamal Whitehead, and a good job of the defender getting back on defense. If official has called something, I'm not sure what the call is, but
well, he pointed towards the Hampton end of the field, so I'm
free
assuming
kick.
it's against Hampton, and the sun's starting to peek itself through.
Bruins back on the attack. Centering pass, and a beautiful one at that. Franklin again, shot on goal and a save. Chad Franklin looking for his second goal is thwarted. And a good save by the goalkeeper. And back comes Hampton, but they're offsides. Looking for back-to-back goals. That was David Van Buskirk who broke open, but he was behind the defenders and clearly offsides. Want to thank again another one of our corporate sponsors, Woods Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the funeral director. We truly appreciate their support throughout the year. They support numerous sporting events that we cover, and we appreciate their financial contribution to help defray the costs. Haven't talked about our crew yet this afternoon, I don't think.
Well,
in the boys game here,
we got Sarah Bowers down on the lower camera. Nathaniel Braxton up here on the upper camera with us. We have in the truck Beverly Penn on slow motion. Andy Foley is doing graphics and doing audio.
And
so
giving
you ought
the
to be able to
announcers
hear
a
me
hard
real
time.
good and gives us a hard time. And of course Scotty Bowers doing everything else, and Don Scharouse came over and helped him set up.
Appreciate the effort as always.
And we have a no-show Ron Baton.
We don't mention no shows.
Oh, we don't mention no shows. You can edit that out, Scotty. What was that?
Free kick coming for Hampton.
I know who it is. Seems like the ball is going on the other side out of bounds more this half than it was the second half. They've changed positions, and I know the ball boy on this side is happy about that. He was running as much as the soccer players was during the first half of action. We get a chance to mention the coaches, Tim. I don't know if we did or not, but anyway, for the Hampton Crabbers is William Check. Also helps him out is K. George Walsh. Who do we have for the, I got it somewhere. Don't go away.
I'll tell the fans while you're doing that this is our final regular season coverage here on Channel 46. Of course, as opportunities permit, we hopefully will have some playoff action for you in some of the other sports. Those times, dates, and games to be determined.
And the coach of the boys team is Kevin Murphy for the Bruins. William Check and Kevin Murphy.
Went down at halftime to enjoy one of those fantastic hot sausages here at the stadium.
Well,
the concession stand wasn't open.
And it wasn't open?
No.
Well, if you were over in Sweden, what would you call that?
Well, I don't know, but in Norway I'd call it a varm pulsner.
Okay. Call it a what?
Varm pulsner.
Well,
it's setup
same to you.
and lupa.
And the lupa is the bun, right?
That's right. Setup is the mustard. I think I'm going to have to stop somewhere on my way home.
You're making me hungry.
The tank is empty. Good action here as both teams going end to end. And a lot of players with their hands on their hips, which is usually meaning I'm gasping for air, boss. Some perspiration showing up on some of these jerseys, too, even though it's not a particularly warm night. This is one of the more taxing sports you'll ever watch. We are halfway through the second half as we have reached 20 minutes into the second half. That offside call. Hampton leading 3-1. If you joined us late, Hampton took a 1-0 lead on a goal by Keith Johnston, and then Stephen Simon made it 2-0 just before halftime, and that's how it was at halftime. And then Chad Franklin has scored to cut the margin to 2-1, and then David Von Buskirk had a goal to regain the 2-goal margin for Hampton.
Well, I do want to let you know that WHCS Channel 46 welcomes you to the Math Zone. This is a live televised interactive call-in program for students to get help with their math. Join Tyler Elementary teacher Cassandra Hamilton and Davis Middle School teacher Sherry Martin. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Call 850-5426. Players of the game, Tim. We got to be thinking about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm working on it right now.
Good for you. That you got all the statistics over there.
You're talking about sports and everything. We've already looked at the fall lineup for football.
Oh, we're going to have a great football schedule.
Always do. Anytime you've got 4 Hampton City schools involved in it, you're going to have some great football.
It's going to be a great schedule this year for us, too. We've really looking forward to it.
Oh, the shot hits the post. That's Bethel almost made it a 1-goal game. The goalkeeper's best friend, the goalpost.
Boy, I tell you, it was a good thing it was there, too. You're right.
Corner kick coming. They say that was kicked by Hampton, so the Bruins will do it once again.
These are always interesting because there's so many variables when you kick that ball in there.
Just like that. And the Bruins almost able to perform the header, but it was grabbed out of midair by the goalkeeper to prevent any further action. Now back the other way. Referee keeping control of this game. Felt like there was a push and awarded the ball to the Bruins. Thinking I might head over to Zooms right after the game, Bob.
Well, I need some gas in my car, and I'm going to get hungry the way you've been talking about the
Varm Pulsner.
sausage. Yeah, well, yeah, with the...
They won't have any Varm Pulsner over there, but they do have some other good stuff. Got gas up the car with premium Citgo, and then fill up your own tank.
There you go.
Some fried chicken, tater wedges, Beantown
Subs.
coffee, subs.
Coca-Cola,
Oh, they got pastries there. They got all kinds of good stuff.
Krispy Kreme donuts, and if you want some coffee, they got Beantown coffee. You told me you went down somewhere, and what's the name of that restaurant you went to that you told me that they charge you so much for the steak, and then you paid extra for the potato and the salad and all? What was the name of that restaurant?
Ruth Chris.
Ruth Chris.
That's a national chain. Ruth Chris. That's two names because they charge you twice as much for the meal. Yep, I went down there. They had, actually, I was in Birmingham, Alabama. And they have them all over the country. They have, I went to one in Chicago when I was out there earlier in the year. But they at the Marriott where we stayed had Beantown coffee in the room. And I remembered hearing about it from tasting it over at Citgo Zooms. And by golly, that is good coffee. Ruth Chris, that was where the steak was $26.95, the baked potato was $4.50. Are you ready for a baked potato? $4.50, and that was before they put the sour cream and chives on it.
Yeah, was that extra?
I didn't even ask. I was afraid to ask.
Well, it's a good thing you was on an expense account, wasn't it?
Taking a client out to dinner, that's one of the
always
advantages. He named the place to go, and now I know why.
Well, you told me that not only did he name the place, he had a particular table and a particular waiter that he was.
Said,
I think you've been there a time or two.
He says, our waiter will be Michael. There's Mr. Braxton.
Where's that little graphic underneath that?
Yeah, Andy had a graphic for that a little earlier, didn't he?
News for them.
Hurry up! Get the kick!
Went to another steak place in Chicago, which is probably more famous. I think most people have heard of Morton's. That was quite the place. That's where you go in there where you have no less than six people waiting on you. You got a butter guy, a bread guy, a water guy, a guy who brings your steak to you, the guy who cuts it for you. Just about. And that was even more expensive than Ruth Chris, if you can imagine.
Really?
Well, I'll tell the story real quickly. We went there, and the waiter said, "Would you like to have sparkling water with your meal?" And I thought, well, yeah, that'd be nice. I like sparkling water. $12 for a quart of sparkling water that I had one drink out of, and the rest of it went back to the.
You didn't take a doggy bag?
Give me that bottle of water too. So there is Sarah. Don't call me Susan. Bowers. Working that sideline camera. Our camera crew and crew in all total, but a camera crew as well, has worked 2 consecutive games here, so they've been on their feet. working that camera.
Well, when the game's over, they're not finished. Then they have to do some other things, like get in
Bring
the
me
cables.
some hot dogs.
No, they got to get the cables in. They got to bring the cameras in. It doesn't.
Well, we
appear
help a little bit with that.
We help with that. That's true. But I'm saying they're standing up doing this game, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. But there's a lot of work involved.
Sure is, and they do the hard work, which is the camera work and setting up. They have to sometimes run hundreds of yards of cable. So seriously, we really appreciate the effort of our crew. They do a great job. This game kind of back and forth here. It's settled down again as Hampton leading by 2 goals, 3-1, as we approach the 30-minute mark of the second half. So we have a little more than 10 minutes, around 12 minutes remaining in this game. And now we've got the goaltenders. I think they're going to switch. Well, I'm not sure what exactly is going on. I know the goaltender for Hampton is out of the net.
He's down to help him try to score, I guess.
Well, a little risky now. He's got to get back. I'm sure some of the soccer aficionados can explain that play to me, but for some reason, the Hampton goaltender.
It gives him one more.
Well, sure it does.
There, but it also opens up this net down the other end, and he sprinted to get down the other
It's
end.
more than 100 yards. You have to do the dash to get back before the other guy gets there. Interesting play, especially when you're leading. It's not like his team is behind. Interesting play.
Right, that's right.
You know, and again in hockey, and I can equate some of the play to hockey, when your team is trailing, you can pull your goaltender for an extra attacker. But they're ahead by the score of 3-1, and yet their goaltender went all the way down to the other goal in an attempt to score. And the Crabbers, with a shot on goal, stopped, and back come the Bruins. You've noticed, looking out in the field, Bob, you don't see any fat soccer players. Not many, not much.
Find many. I tell you, if you were fat, you'd run it off out there.
That is a sport that will take it off of you.
Hey, let's go, go. Come on.
I played soccer for 1 year as a young man in the Orient when I was there in Asia. And that cured me.
That cured you.
That cured me. All that running in 95-degree heat, forget it. Field felt like it was that 10-mile long field I was talking about earlier in the 1600s. That was amazing. I was reading that thing about the goals 10 miles apart. How do you officiate such a game? First of all, you have to have the in Alaska.
They didn't have much officiating going on.
I guess in Alaska you had the you have to use the whale blimp to cover it overhead. I mean,
you can just read the paper now. Lost the soccer players due to polar bear
being
attack.
eaten by a polar bear. Yeah, I mean the hazards. Consider the hazards. I have some other tidbits here too, in case we need them. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Ancient Egypt.
Oh no!
Yes, historians have suggested that fertility rites in ancient Egypt and religious ceremonies in the ancient Near East may have been linked to the development of the game soccer. In the Pacific Islands, one little more tidbit for you, the inhabitants in the Pacific Islands, they developed the game using their hands and feet. They used coconuts, oranges, and pig bladders as balls.
Coconuts?
You know, you mentioned earlier in jest about using the skulls.
Yep, and they did.
This is not in jest. In England in the 1100s, one story speaks of using the enemy's skull as a ball. Another tells of a brave village defeating a Roman team and running them out of town in 217 AD. By the 12th century, the game had become a violent mob sport with no rules and any sort of behavior condoned, which is going on in England right now.
I was going to say, that sounds like it.
Yeah, they earned
Oh, what a nice kick.
I'm reading my stuff. Who scored?
I believe it was number 4.
For Hampton.
I believe that was Jamal Whitehead. Let's see if we got a replay on. Here's the replay.
Oh, that was pretty. So that now makes the lead a 3-goal difference, 4-1. And Whitehead now with at least 1 assist and a goal to his credit. And he's been outstanding. Good stop on the shot on goal. Bethel still playing hard. But now they're down by 3. Less than 10 minutes remaining in this contest. We approach the 33-minute mark of the second half. About 7 minutes to go. We have to be working on our players of the game, Bob.
You're right, and it's not going to be an easy, as it never is.
Well, I got the Hampton player picked out. And, oh, off the goalpost. Chad Franklin almost had his second goal. Bethel, good pressure. Oh, a dangerous play there. Almost 2 players colliding.
That was Gregory, number 15 for the Bruins. Now he's played a little bit of football, so he's used to some of that contact.
Yep. Oh, that was a little excessive contact there. No whistle. I thought we'd get a stoppage play on that one.
We whistle too, but we didn't. Well, you say you got the Bethel one picked. How about the Hampton one?
I got a Hampton player picked.
Oh, the Bethel one you don't have.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I can give you a good choice for Bethel too.
Good for you.
You like that?
I like that.
And the Bruins now on the attack. And the shot just wide.
Well, that was because the goalkeeper came out and took away an angle and really, because he came out, not that he got any contact, but he really.
That was El Toro, Mike Sanborn, almost getting the goal. It was last touched by a Hampton Crabber, so it'll be a corner kick for the Bruins. And Mike Tran will do the corner kick. Back come the Crabbers. Free kick for the Crabbers. Want to mention our corporate sponsors again. Woods Funeral Home, Richard Pulley, the funeral director.
Gear Up Printing, Tom Gear at Gear Up Printing, 827-8277.
And Zooms with numerous convenient locations to serve you. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the contest now. Oh, and Franklin just missed his second goal. Good play by the goalkeeper to deflect the ball. Franklin is arguing that the ball went out of bounds last touch by the goalkeeper, but that is not the call by the linesman. Goalkeeper for the Crabbers, Michael Lucas, has been very active. Done a good job keeping the Bruins to just one goal. There you see him right there, Michael Lucas.
He's rather happy.
Slow down.
See a lot of the players use their body to shield another player and let the ball go out of bounds so they can gain control. On the attack, and a shot wide of the goal by the Crabbers.
He wanted that goal to go in. He had thrown his shirt over his head.
Free kick for the Bruins. There's some substitutions here.
Come on. And you're going to break this thing down. Come on, Tiber. Good.
Hampton leading 4-1 in the waning moments of the contest. In fact, we're in the final 2 minutes now. Official time kept on the field by the referee. Been a good contest, good effort by both
Yes,
teams.
it really has been, and they're evenly matched. Hampton seems to be a little more aggressive offensively. They can get the ball down and they've had more shots on goal, I believe, than the Bruins.
Well, I would credit that primarily to the playmaking of Johnston and Whitehead, Jamal Whitehead. And Whitehead is my choice, by the way, for the Hampton player of the game. And that is your contest.
And for the Bethel Bruins, it'll be Chad Franklin will receive the award for player of the game.
So Chad Franklin with a goal this afternoon, Whitehead with a goal and an assist. At least may have had more. Lost track of some of those assists. But that is your final score. The Hampton Crabbers winning at a final score of 4-1. And as a matter of fact, we will remind you that the girls' contest between these two schools can also be seen here on Channel 46. Check the times for that game to be played. Thanked our crew. Want to thank our sponsors again, Zooms, with numerous convenience locations on the peninsula. By Gear Up Printing. Give Tommy Gear a call at 827-8277. Harmony. And by Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the funeral director. Want to thank everyone again for all their assistance here at Darling Stadium. The final score again is Hampton 4 and Bethel 1. For the entire Channel 46 crew and for Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon, everybody.